10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's start the show.
Right now we are sitting down with my favorite Arkansas State University running back of all. We have a guy who's fought on Dana White's Contender Series, a guy who's a big-time name in MMA. We have a former Mr. Money in the Bank from WrestleMania 23, former WWE United States champion, a former two-time TNA heavyweight champion, Mr. This guy directed Batman Heart of Ice on YouTube, an amazing fan film. Someone who was in the Ultimate Fighting Championship, the Ultimate Fighter at one point. That's helped run and promote Championship Wrestling of Arkansas for the little bit of time that it was around, as well as a professional wrestler from the early 90s. The guy is running Street Beast Dirty South, a professional MMA fighter, and looking to make a debut sometime in the near future in bare knuckle boxing. The one and only Jason Voorhees, Mr. James Stokes himself. How's it going, James? Good to see you again.
You are now experiencing the Adam Talks Podcast Season 2.
Welcome back to another great episode of the Adam Talks Podcast right here, wherever you're watching or listening to it. YouTube. You can be listening to it on Spotify, Apple Podcast, or iHeartRadio. But wherever it is, hit the subscribe and follow button and keep in touch. Guys, I'm super excited about this episode. It's going to be a lot of fun. A guy we've had on, this will be his third time on the show. We have filmmaker, actor, director, screenwriter, Jason Pitts back on the show. We're going to talk to him about this and that, mainly. We're going to talk to him a lot about Forest Through the Trees, his newest picture he's got coming up. We're going to talk to him about that, get into it. And we're also going to talk to him about pro wrestling, because he's a huge pro wrestling fan, and I didn't know that before our last interview. So without further ado, this is my conversation with filmmaker, actor, director, screenwriter, Jason Pitts.
How's it going, dude?
It's going great, Adam. Thank you for having me back. I appreciate it.
Oh yeah, man. You and James both are tied at the moment for the most times appeared on a show. So, well, I think, and my friend Jesse, I think, has been on 3 times, because I believe he was on the Christmas special as well. But yeah, man, I appreciate the hell out of you coming on. It's awesome talking to you again. I know you've been busy. You've been working on Forest Through the Trees. How's that been going, man?
Oh, it's been going great. We are a week away from starting our second week. We're shooting in three blocks of 5 days. So about a little less than a month ago, we finished our first block of days. We did have one day where we got rained out from thunderstorms and severe weather, but we're able to make that up, I think. So this block coming up. So very excited. The footage looks great. It sounds good. We've got a composer who has extensive experience scoring horror films. We've got a really good colorist. So then the acting has been amazing so far. Every time I think that it can't get any better, the next person that comes in just meets that bar or raises it. So it's I couldn't be happier.
Heck yeah, man. Heck yeah. And this is going to be a full-length feature, right?
That's correct. It's going to be full length, probably between 90 and 100 minutes, I think.
Oh wow, man. That's awesome. So this is going to be one of the longer ones that you've done, like the Voorhees project that you did.
Yeah, this will definitely be the longest project that I've done. Voorhees was right at an hour. It was like 61 minutes. This one's probably going to be like an hour and a half to like an hour and 45, I think, in that area.
Right on, man. Right on. Have you experienced, apart from the weather things, have you experienced any troubles on filming this, or has it gone really smoothly?
We had a few obstacles and challenges. The first day was interesting. We had a very important prop that when we got to set and we needed it, it wasn't able to be found. Like we still don't know where it went. But we were able to come up with a solution for that. We're going to fix it in post, as they say. But I when I realized that we were in that boat where we needed a solution, I called a friend who does visual effects, and he's really good at it, and he's confident he's able to help us out and make sure that gets taken care of. And then we did have an injury on set the first day. That was pretty severe. But thankfully he seems like he's doing better now. So after like the first 2 days, he seemed like he was doing okay. So, and I think he's good. So thankfully it wasn't as bad as it could have been. And then the weather was very touch and go the entire week. And the first 3 days was honestly kind of a miracle, because every day was overnight shoots, and it would rain all day long during the day until about 30 minutes before we were scheduled to start shooting, and then it would stop. And then it wouldn't rain again until we were done shooting, and then it would start pouring again. And it did that for 3 days. So
Wow.
yeah. And then the fourth day, the fourth day was just like crazy severe weather the entire night. So we didn't shoot the fourth day, and then we came back and finished the fifth. We got the fifth day done. So we did have that one day where we got rained out.
Oh man. Seems like you gone and faced some obstacles and got through it though in that first week. A lot of rewarding stuff, I'm sure, man.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, and then that's just a testament to how amazing the cast and crew is, because this is like, whatever it takes, and in a positive manner. Like, I'm just in awe with everybody being willing to, just push through it and stay positive and lift each other up through the process. Because it's not easy. It's definitely not easy, especially overnights, 12-hour nights, overnights.
My God.
And then you don't get a lot of sleep during the day because you're trying to sleep during the day, And so, by that fourth or fifth day, you're definitely tired. I do think that being rained out the fourth day actually kind of helped with that fatigue. A lot of us did have kind of a big get together, a little party at one of the Airbnbs we were at. So it was a good bonding experience, but also an opportunity for a lot of people to get some rest that they needed. So it kind of was a blessing in disguise situation, I think, maybe.
Okay. Right on, dude. How do you fight that fatigue if there's no like rain that's going to come in and magically help out with it? Give you some time away from filming and whatnot. How do you help your crew, your actors, fight that fatigue after, like you said, 12-hour days and stuff like that? 4 or 5 days filming. It's like, that's a lot, man. How do you help your actors not get so fatigued?
Lots of coffee and some energy drinks, and just the key is to keep the set as positive as possible and keep the energy and the excitement up. When we got an awesome shot, show it to them, because that really, if they see something that we're creating together and how like amazing it looks, and or a performance that just was like insanely awesome, like show it to people. Even like just take a few minutes while we're setting up the next shot, like if an actress like just killed it, say, hey, come here, watch this, and just keeping that excitement going in any way you can. That's the best way to keep the energy up and keep people excited and fighting the fatigue off, and the coffee.
Coffee, energy drinks, keeping the morale high. That's the big three right there for it. Okay. Is there times whenever you'd film out of order from what the actual film is? So like, you got your opening scenes and then it keeps continuously going until you get to your climax at the end of the movie. Is there times when you'd film middle pieces first, end pieces or anything like that in movies, or is it usually a pretty linear filming?
No, it's very rarely is it shot linear as the story goes. This film that in that first week we shot the ending first.
Oh wow.
Like we pretty much have the ending all shot. There's a little bit that we missed, like I said, that day that we got rained out, that we had to go back and set up the set again and shoot that part. But yeah, the way that this schedule worked out, just because of the locations that I have and when they were available, we had to shoot the first week was the entire third act, like the ending. And then the second week is the middle of the film, and then the first week is the beginning. So
You're working backward.
backward is the way.
Wow,
Funny.
that's crazy, man.
Yeah.
I see. In the very few things that I've done, it's always been, all right, this is what I want to do, so I'm going to film it in this order. How does it help to film it in different orders as you have a bigger project with more people and things?
Well, it is a little challenging because you have to keep continuity. You have to really keep on top of continuity because, so we're shooting, we shot the end of the film. So any like wounds or like things that the character went through that you haven't shot yet, that evidence has to be there. Or like Ken's character, James' character, he gets hit in the head with a crowbar. So we had to make sure that that wound is there, and but we haven't shot that yet. So now we have to make sure that when the character does that, when that happens, it has to look like how it did before, when we shot it. So it definitely is a bit of a challenge because you have to keep up with that continuity stuff. But an advantage is that if it wasn't for being restricted by the locations and when the availability was, I would have shot it in order or as much as possible. But just because of the way that everything just worked out with when the locations were available and when certain people were available, we had to do it this way. But it does. You do typically shoot bigger films like this out of sequence. Just for that reason, really.
Right on. So, in those interviews that I talked to Julia and James about, they both were saying, I don't know how much I can actually say about the movie. So, I'm going to go to the camel right now, straight from the camel's mouth. How much can you tell us about this movie?
I can tell you the basic plot and some of the characters. So, the story centers around a main character named Chloe and her stepfather named Ken. And they are dealing with the disappearance of Chloe's mother and Ken's wife. Now, Ken is not Chloe's biological father, but he did kind of raise her. But she's been missing for a year shortly after the movie starts, and they kind of are blaming each other for her disappearance, so there's that conflict going on there, and so they're dealing with how do they they're kind of blaming each other for her disappearance, but also kind of being sympathetic towards each other because they both lost the same person in their life.
Yeah.
And this clue comes along of what might have happened to her. And so Chloe and her friend Ava go to investigate this clue. Ken doesn't want to because he's afraid to find her, because if he's afraid that when he finds her, he finds out that the reason that she left is him. And so that's something that he's he wants to find her, of course, but he also is afraid of finding out that he's the reason she left. So at first he's like, I don't want to go, but then Chloe goes anyway, and then he follows her. And when they get there, they encounter this demon cult, and they're worshiping a demon, and they are actually after Chloe because she has something called heterochromia. She was born with one blue eye and one brown eye, and the demon that they worship is looking for a vessel, something like a human body to inhabit. And in this world that I wrote and I created, the eyes are the windows to the soul. So when somebody has heterochromia, this genetic condition, it means that window is open, and so something can get in easier. And so that's the basic story. So
wow.
There's some twists and turns and some stuff that I don't want to spoil. But
yeah.
I didn't give anything away too much. But that is, that's the gist of it and the main storyline.
Oh wow, dude! I'm excited. I'm stoked about it, dude. From what I've been hearing, it's going great all the way around, and I'm super excited. I'm stoked for this movie, man. Really, really excited. James Stokes, yeah, man. James said, I think this is probably the best work of Jason's career on his episode of the show, and I believe he said that this is probably the best in the Pitts Stokes saga of films that y'all have done together. So.
Yeah.
Julia said similar things as well, man.
I think Voorhees is pretty good. So, but that says a lot.
Yeah, he played 3 characters in that, and I didn't even know that. He played the Sasquatch at one point. Whenever it was what's his face, Madman Fulton fighting the Sasquatch, and then he played the one dude and Jason, which is. Crazy, man. Guy is very talented.
He's awesome.
But I did see other talent on this movie, such as Olivia Disney, and we talked about her on the first episode, and I was gushing about how talented she was, how awesome it was seeing her in Masquerade, as well as in Voorhees as well, man. Just outstanding. So you've got a heavy-hitting lineup for this, and I'm super stoked about it.
She's phenomenal. In fact, when I wrote the script, there were 2 characters that I didn't do a casting call for, and I wrote with them in mind, and that's James and Olivia. So Ken, Ken was always written for James. Like I can't imagine anyone else playing Ken, and then Olivia was always playing Ava. So those two characters were written for those actors. All the other characters I did casting calls for, and we found, I think Julia was on, and she probably said it, like we had something like 200 or something total casting submissions across the country, for Forest of the Trees. And we found some amazing talent. Scott Doss, who plays Julian, the leader of the cult, is, man, when he gets into character, he is creepy as all get out, and he just gives people the chills, like goosebumps, and it's going to be good. Like the level of talent is off the charts. Annie Sullivan plays Chloe. And she is amazing opposite of Olivia, because they're like friends, in the story, and they kind of like Ava is Chloe's main support system, because she can't really, there's a disconnect with Ken being her stepfather and all that, and also kind of blaming him for Kathy's disappearance, for her leaving. And all of that gets, there's a mystery to that, and all that gets solved and dove into. But just the level of acting that we got from all the casting calls was awesome.
Man, how do you go through? So you have to go through each and every submission one by one. And are you, whenever you're doing this, are you just looking for certain things like inflections in the voice or the way someone uh, plays the characters? Because some may do it a little different than others may do it. I mean, is there any particular tiny little things that you're looking for to distinguish this guy or this gal over all the others?
Yeah. So when I so Julia sent for each character, Julia would send me everybody who sent in a submission, and they'd send in like a headshot and a resume, and I like at that stage I'm looking for people who are kind of close visually to what I had in mind for the character. And then I look at their resume and it's like, do they have experience? What have they done? And I also asked to send like some sample of their work. Like it could be a reel or even a clip of another movie that they've been in. And what I'm looking for there is like does it feel like they're just reading lines or are they able to emote and make me feel something,
Yeah.
anything really. Like if they're like, do they make me laugh? Do they make me, feel what I'm supposed to be feeling when I'm watching the performance? And
Yeah.
the ones that do, I ask, I gave Julia a list for each character, of I think 3 or 4 people, and said, okay, so then we send those people, or Julia sent those people what's called a side, and it's just a little snippet of the script for that
Okay.
character, and asked them to do a self tape for that, and then those 4 or 5 people did the self tapes and then sent them back, and then I watched those, and I picked picked people based off that, people who I felt like got the essence of the character, and made me feel something in their performance.
Definitely, man. And it's always good to have that moving portrayal of whatever character you're looking for at the time. Something that'll just hit the right nerve. Whether it's like you said, doesn't matter if it doesn't matter if it's a scene where you're supposed to be laughing, you're supposed to be scared of this guy, intimidated. It doesn't matter. They hit that nerve, and you're able to go, "That's what I was looking for." Is there ever moments
Exactly.
whenever you just don't know what you're looking for, and then you find it by accident by watching stuff?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that happens. I For Kathy, who is being played by Anna Hardwick, I kind of had something a little different in mind, and then when
Hmm.
her resume and everything came across and picture and headshot, I was like, there's something to this person, but it's a little different than what I had in mind. And then when she sent back her self tape, because everybody who auditioned for Kathy also auditioned for her sister Ruth, kind of, and so like I had those people like do dual auditions for each character, but when she sent in her self tape of the sides, it was very powerful, and I was like, this isn't exactly what I had in mind, but it's strong, so I went with that. So yeah, that definitely happens. Sometimes you find something that's even better than what you had in mind. So originally,
Happy surprise. It's very nice
yes,
when that happens.
right,
I'm sure, man. Uh,
absolutely.
what? I mean, I'm like I said, man. I've said it a couple times already. I'm super excited about it. I'm ready to watch Forest Through the Trees. Is it going to go through festivals before we're able to see it, before the public's able to see it and everything?
I am not going to do the traditional festival route with this movie. My goal is to find a distributor and get it hopefully in theaters. If not in theaters, on the major streaming services like Netflix and Hulu and Amazon.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm swinging for the fences. So when you have a movie like this, and if you do a big festival run first and do all the little festivals and stuff, it really hurts your chances of finding a distributor because a lot of people in the industry have already seen it, and so you kind of want to protect when you have something like this, a big feature that has the potential that this has. You want to protect it until you get that deal. So we're not going to do the festival run. I might do the big festivals like Cannes, Sundance, South by Southwest, Tribeca, those kind of things. But I'm not going to do like what I did with Masquerade and Alone and When the Stairs Creak.
Okay. Okay. Well, that makes sense, man. It's a big time movie. Is this the biggest budget movie you've made so far?
Absolutely, yeah. Before this one, the biggest one was Voorhees, which was about 15,000, somewhere between 15 and 20,000. This is going to end up being close to 80,000.
Oh wow, man. That's almost $100,000 movie. That's awesome,
So
dude. How do you go about talking to distributors? Do you just got to message them and be like, "Hey, I'm a filmmaker," or is there a much more intricate
yeah,
process?
so there is an event called the American Film Market that is held every November. It's traditionally been in Los Angeles, but this year they're moving to Las Vegas for the first time. And so what this event is all the distributors in the world, or most of them, come to it and basically watch movies and then make bids on which ones that they want to distribute. And so plan A is to take the movie to there this November if we're able to get it done in time. Plan B, and I've already started Plan B, but I have been like researching horror films and looking at what the distribution companies were, and I've been sending emails out to distribution companies and sending them the screenshots and letting them know we're currently shooting this movie. We're looking for worldwide distribution. Here's some screenshots. Here's the IMDb page. Here's a lookbook that we have, and I have been doing that. I've sent probably 20 emails so far, and I've heard back from 3 of them that are interested, and they're like, "Hey, I mean, these stills look great. We want to see, we're not going to make a deal now because the movie's not done, but we definitely want to see it when it's done." So, I've got some interest already. So,
Right on, man.
yeah,
Right on. That's very positive news, dude. That's awesome, man.
yeah. And then there's a
Uh,
Plan C too. Plan C is putting it on Film Hub, which is it's an independent site where you upload your film, and then all of the streaming services like look and watch all these different films, and they're like, okay, I want this one, I want that one, and Tubi. That's one way a lot of independent filmmakers get on Tubi is through Film Hub, and Tubi is an ad-based streaming service. So the filmmaker, when people watch their films and then they watch the ads, Tubi will get or Film Hub will get 20% of that ad revenue, but the filmmaker will get 80%. So I personally
wow.
know some independent filmmakers who have feature-length films on Tubi through Film Hub that make between like $2,000 to $4,000 a month.
Oh, wow.
So yeah. So that's Plan C. Like that's worst case scenario. I'm pretty sure we can do
Wow.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, most definitely, man. I think I don't know. I don't know what it would be like to have a movie on a streaming service of any kind, and you have a couple different ones already on some. So I mean, it's
Yeah.
it's really cool, and to have this potentially go to a bigger streaming service, a larger one, whether it's on Amazon or, like you said, Netflix, Max, whatever picks it up,
Yeah.
I believe that it will get on one of those bigger platforms, man, because everything I've seen that you've done on film is stellar, and I don't expect this to be any different, man, because you're just killing it, man.
If it continues the way it went the first week with week 2 and 3, this is going to blow anything that I have done away in the past, like massively.
Wow, man. I'm like I said, I'm super ready. So whenever you get it, whenever it goes on to a streaming service, you shoot me a message and let me know.
Well,
and I'll make sure I get that.
You're here in Arkansas. When it's done, I'm going to have a friends and family premiere. So you're more than welcome to come and watch it in person in a theater. I don't know exactly where it will be yet. It could be in Little Rock or Fort Smith, or it could even be in Berryville, where Julia's at.
Yeah.
But, it'll be somewhere here in Arkansas.
Right on, man. Yeah, shoot me a message and let me know. I'll definitely come to that.
Definitely.
But,
sure.
Right on, man. I'm super excited about that, but I kind of wanted to talk about your other venture, which is Classic Championship Wrestling. Let's talk a little CCW. Yes, sir. Let's talk a little bit about that. Now, I've seen a little bit of it here and there. Luther J. Diamond has came on the scene there, I believe. Am I correct on saying that? Kurt Castle's been there already. Was Tim Storm there for a little bit? The former NWA heavyweight champion, Tim Storm. And then
he was our first champion.
Oh, wow. And now your current champion is who? Alpha Hat? Is that right? Am I saying that right?
Alpha Rot, yeah.
Okay. What is going on in CCW?
Well, we got Alpha Rot, who just won the championship back in February. We took a few months off. We'll be coming back the second Saturday of July with a huge show. We have our brand new tag team title belts up for grabs. The current champions, Holy Hell, will be facing Doomsday. And these two teams have been going at it for almost a year now. So this is going to be a no DQ match to hopefully end the feud. Alpha Rot will be in action defending the championship. Haven't announced who he will be facing yet. And then we have kind of our mid-card title belt, the Heartland Championship tournament that's been going on. And in June, we will crown our Heartland champion. That tournament will end. And in fact, Luther J. Diamond is still in that tournament. We'll have the semifinals and the finals that night. And
oh, wow.
Luther J. Diamond will be wrestling Chris Fortune in one semifinal match. And so one of those two will be in the finals. So.
Oh, wow, man.
A lot going on.
I've had Luther on the show, man. He's a cool dude, and he's helped me be able to talk to some other really cool people as well. So I'm hopefully he does pretty good, I got to keep up with CCW action a lot more, man, because they seem like one of the real deal promotions here in Arkansas. And I'm not saying there's no real deal promotions or there's very few of them. I'm sure there's quite a few of them, but South Central Wrestling, Vapors Championship Wrestling, Infinity Pro, CCW. I mean, there are so many really good promotions here in the state of Arkansas. It's awesome. And CCW, I just saw their heavyweight championship, and it's like a blend of the classic NWA championship, the 10 pounds of gold, with like the winged eagle in the middle of it. It's like, what the heck is that, man? That's pretty cool looking. How did they come up with that design,
Well, the owner, the owner, Steven Westbrook, he's like us, you know. He's just a massive wrestling fan, huge fan of WCW back in the day. So a lot of the title belts and even the logos and stuff are kind of inspired from some old school stuff, you know. So he definitely you can definitely see his love for the wrestling history in CCW.
Definitely, man. There's a lot of nostalgia in the style, it seems like, too. Even the logo design looks like WCW's like classic logo that they used to have, man.
That is not an accident.
But fully on purpose, we want it to look like World Championship Wrestling. It has the classic NWA feel to it, from what I have seen of it, though. Very hard hitting, very action packed, and a lot of people that just know what they're doing whenever it comes to in ring work. Would you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I really enjoy going to the shows. I do the main camera work, and then I edit the shows that you see on YouTube. And they have given me a little bit of like creative responsibility lately too, which I'm very thankful for, and I've been having a lot of fun with it. So.
Oh wow, you're getting to help out in creative. Is that difficult?
Yeah. I mean that's kind of my thing. You know, I'm a storyteller.
Yeah.
About 10 years ago, there was you may remember this organization, but there was one called TCW, Traditional Championship Wrestling. I was head of creative for that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So they kind of, Dennis McCaslin, who is like Steven's partner and also his father-in-law, they run CCW along with Bree, Dennis's daughter. Dennis worked for TCW as well. So they kind of they already knew of me, and so that they reached out and asked me to come. First, starting with camera, you know, shooting the show and editing it, and then they asked if I would like to do some creative stuff as well. And absolutely, that's what I would prefer. Like that, I like doing that more than the camera stuff, and just like working with the wrestlers and coming up with storylines and stuff like that. You know,
Man,
developing their characters. There's this guy that comes up out of Louisiana. His name's Rico Wildly. I don't know if you know of him. Holy crap!
I have not heard of him.
Check him out. Like look him up on YouTube. He has like a carnival barker type character, and he's incredible. And I love working with him. There's another guy from Louisiana named Millennial Mike, and his character is that he's like kind of stuck in the 90s, and like he does like we came up with all this nostalgia 90s stuff for him to do. It's just a lot. It's been a lot of fun.
You had him carry around a Walkman. Have him carry around a Walkman tape player. Bash someone in the head with it as a bad guy.
he comes out to some Backstreet Boys music.
Oh no!
Yeah. Like when he's introduced, the announcer's like, he's all that in a bag of chips, Millennial Mike, and he actually comes out with a bag of chips and like hands it to a kid in the crowd. He works face right now, so it's just a lot. It's been a lot of fun.
Millennial Mike could be a good heel if you got him the right way. I feel like right now, as you say, he's a good guy at the moment. But I could see him working heel, and he carries out. He gets like his new entrance to be like he puts the headphones on. You see his hand on this like on a screen or something. He just pushes play on a tape player Walkman. He clips it on his side, walks down to the ring with his sunglasses on and stuff. classic,
Yeah.
like, and then you gotta get like the piano and
We talked about having a like a Nokia phone, like a 90s Nokia, and using that as like a weapon, like cracking somebody
yeah,
on the head because they're indestructible, you know?
yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
There's lots of
God dang,
stuff.
dude.
There's a lot of
It sounds like it.
yeah.
What's the rewarding thing about being? All right, no, wait. Before I get to that, hopefully be able to remember to come back to that. As you know, I'm all over the place. So, anyway, you know, you worked with TCW, Traditional Championship Wrestling. It was on local TV, man. I seen it over at my friend Cameron's house for the first time, and I was just like, "Wait, this is in Arkansas? I'm seeing this stuff happening in Arkansas. What the heck?" And he's like, "Yeah, man, blah 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 blah." And that was actually, I feel like, my first experience with Arkansas independent wrestling, because it was before my independent career even started with like South Central Wrestling and Mountain Pine or anything. It's before I had training or anything. So it was not seeing a promotion from Arkansas, let alone, you know, before that, not even knowing we had any Arkansas wrestling in Arkansas. It was like, what is it? Where's, you know, what was it like being part of, yeah, look at me now, we're on TV. Yeah. TC Dub.
TCW. It was pretty amazing. It was a great experience. I've been a wrestling fan. I love the storylines, and you know, Matt Duffield, who was Matt Riviera in TCW, was the owner, and working with him was pretty awesome. He's definitely an entrepreneur. He's a brilliant mind, and when he sets his mind to something, he definitely makes it happen. So I learned a lot from him on like how to be goal oriented and just and be tenacious, working your way to that goal. And you know, I'm super thankful for him letting me help with creative, because that's, like I said, that's my wheelhouse. And just creating the storylines and helping develop the characters. We did a lot of fun stuff. Working with Matt Bourne was a highlight. Before he passed away, Doink the Clown, that was really cool. And then I got to do a commercial with Matt Hardy. And
wow.
I got to do a lot of cool stuff with Hacksaw Jim Duggan. And I got to produce a vampire versus vampire match with Gangrel and the vampire we had, Alucard. That was fun. So I mean, it was a good time. It was definitely a good time. I had a lot of fun.
That like I said, that was my exposure to Arkansas wrestling. Yeah, I was like, there's no way, because before that, all I knew was, you know, TNA or WWE, or before that it was the ECW and WCW, but that was the only wrestling I knew about. So seeing something completely different and being like, what is this? You know, it was just eye-opening. It was really cool to be able to see that. You know, I was talking to Johnny Morton not long ago on the show as well. I was talking to him, and he was helping run and promote CWA, Championship Wrestling of Arkansas. And Matt Riviera, I think, was also like the owner of that. And
yeah, TCW kind of morphed into CWA there at the end.
Yeah,
but yeah,
they were all over the place, man.
Yeah,
yeah, man. I talked to him. I got his information at the last CWA show with Elijah Burke whenever he was down here, and I think Buff Bagwell was here in that show, and D'Lo Brown or something. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't remember, but there was a bunch of really big name people, and I saw him. I was like, man, I want to get into wrestling. I've never done it before and blah, 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 and this and that. And he was like, well, here's my Facebook. Look me up, Johnny Morton. So I talked to him and I just stayed in contact with him and asked him questions about how to do this or what makes this good or how can you do better about doing this, just trying to be a sponge and stuff. And then I talked to him on the show the last time and he was telling me about that. So you got to work with two bona fide veterans in Riviera and Johnny Morton, man. And like you said, Matt Hardy, Matt Bourne. I've seen Carlito on this stuff before, and Chavo probably you've worked with, I'm sure, before. If he was there, was he there?
We did. He was there once. We had DDP there once. We had
Chris wow.
There once. And we worked with Jerry the King Lawler quite a bit.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
man. So if we're looking,
really he's a great promoter, man. He's really good. He's a guy you want. He's a boots on the ground guy. He has no issues like going and finding sponsors, putting posters up. He's a great person for that, for sure.
Yeah, definitely, man. If we're looking outside of the world of Arkansas independent wrestling, you can't look much further than the WWE. It's the big one. It's the one, man. If we jump back in time to April and looked at WrestleMania 40, what were your thoughts on both nights?
Man, I thought
it was the biggest WrestleMania ever.
Yeah, and I thought it was pretty good. I think most of night one was a little better than night two. I think the ending of the Cody Roman match was mostly predictable. Other than all the run-ins, I thought that was cool. I know everybody wanted Stone Cold, but the Undertaker was a nice touch.
I thought it was going to be Steve Austin, man. I thought Steve Austin was going to come out there and then you got The Rock and John Cena, and The Rock's about to murder Cody Rhodes, hit him with a people's elbow or something, and then the glass shatters and The Rock gives that look, the one where he's like that or whatever, just gives a look up the ramp. That's all I wanted. But then the lights went up and you heard the gong and it was like, no way, I was a 5-year-old or a 10-year-old again.
If it wasn't Austin, The Undertaker was the right call for sure.
Definitely. I
just loved how that match just had so many storylines intertwined in it,
Definitely.
Like
the Seth and Roman stuff.
Oh yeah, it was brilliant.
Yeah, man. It was beautiful. He chose to get revenge on Seth Rollins when he could have kept his championship and we'd still have our tribal chief at the top. Oh man. But he didn't. He chose to hit Seth, and that was the most important thing he could think about, because Seth came out in the Shield gear, got bashed, man. And, dude, Seth is a tough SOB, dude. He is a tough dude. Seth is really tough. He worked that whole thing with a freaking busted up knee, and afterwards he couldn't even stand up, and people had to help him. I was like, dude, oh my God, that is dedication to your craft. I'll tell you what, man. Holy crap.
Definitely a badass, and I think that he earned a lot of respect in a lot of people's eyes, for sure.
Oh, definitely from me, for sure, man. Mine doesn't mean anything, obviously. I mean, I'm a fan, whatever. But, definitely earned the internet wrestling community, the IWC, is what matters in the world. The real promotions need to take notice. No,
absolutely.
Anyway, he earned my respect in a big way because you always hear him Monday Night Rollins or whatever the hell he's saying, and you're like listening to him, and while he's there, it's like, what the heck? What is this dude doing? As The Rock called him, "You walking clown emoji," He was walking around calling him that the whole time, you know. Seth Rollins, you walk around here with your long hair. You look like a dumb walking clown emoji, you dumbass, you know, or whatever he's going to say to him. And, you know.
The Rock tore him up, honestly, on the mic.
Yeah, man. He did. The Rock tears everybody up 90% of the time on the microphone, man. I thought it was interesting watching the angle after Cody on the Raw after Mania, where you seen Cody come out and The Rock hands something to Cody and he shakes his hand and he says something to him and he says, "I'm leaving, but I will be back. And when I do, I'm coming for you," you know? Yeah. And I was like, oh, I'm excited about this. I'm ready for this, you know? It was intriguing watching that. I think they've really fallen flat though since Mania. What do you think?
Yeah. I mean, they lost quite a few people. Like, you know, Seth got hurt, Punk's hurt. They just have Rhea's hurt. You know, they have a lot of injuries, and then you know Roman's out. They definitely have kind of fallen a little flat. I do think that the Alpha Academy storyline is interesting.
Oh my God, I hate Chad Gable right now.
I really like Chad Gable. I think he's really kind of impressed me. That man, his match with Gunther was really really freaking good. I kind of think that Sammy was the wrong choice. I think it should have been. I think it should have been Gable. I think he deserves it.
Oh man.
I really do, man. Gable, like, I know you're not supposed to like him right now, but he's really come on. For me, he's really come on strong lately. Like, he's he reminds me of Kurt
Angle. He's doing the best work of his career, in my opinion, at the moment. You know. I hate him right now in kayfabe. I absolutely hate him. I do not like this character. I don't like this guy. He's an asshole. He's being mean to Maxine Dupree, and it's her first year wrestling. Why are you being like this to her? Stop it. You know, and then he slaps Otis every week. He slaps me. You're just hearing it. Cross the face, and I'm like, Otis, punch the dude. Hit him. Do something. And
I'll tell you what. This is brilliant because when Otis finally does do it, the place is going to go nuts. Like, it's
oh my gosh, man!
Pop. It's going to be the biggest mid-card pop in a long time.
I agree completely with that, man. Because, dude, Otis is going to be the biggest face in the mid-card scene after that because he's going to take enough slaps to the face and he's just going to bulldoze over him. Oh yeah. Whatever. He's going to bulldoze over him. You're going to get classic Otis back. And I would love to see, you know how you had a couple of years ago, we had the Mandy Rose and Otis story. What if we had the Maxine Dupree and Otis story now? You know, Otis is just this big, lovable teddy bear. Maxine, he starts defending Maxine and she starts falling for him and this and that. And it would just be a nice story to see. Yeah. You know.
Yeah, there's definitely something there that you can work with. I kind of feel like they dropped the ball with LA Knight a little bit. I don't know what they're doing there. You know.
I don't know, man. I don't know. He was in world championship matches with Roman Reigns, and then all of a sudden he just dropped all the way back down to wherever we can find you, we'll put you there. Here you go, you know? And it's like, what are you doing? You got a bona fide, awesome, long-term feud you could have been doing for a while between two really good trash talkers, one asshole that no one likes in Logan Paul, and the other one that people love in LA Knight, dude. LA Knight, Logan Paul, U.S. title match. I mean,
absolutely.
You know,
it's
wonderful, man.
I mean, that would be huge. Like, maybe that's what they do for SummerSlam for Logan's defense. I definitely
man. I would love to see that. That would be amazing to see. You know, I'd love to see LA Knight finally capture his first championship proper in WWE. You know,
it needs to happen.
It'd be great.
It needs to happen pretty quick.
Yeah, man, I agree. You know, we got Clash of the Castle coming up in WWE, and after that, it is SummerSlam, and we got World Championship match for Gunther, which is on a freaking roll. He's been on a roll, even though he lost to Sami Zayn at Mania. Dude is just outstanding, and I am afraid of Gunther's chops. I'm man enough to admit it. I don't want to take even one of those things. No, sir.
They look painful. Everyone who takes them, like their chest is like hamburger, like within seconds.
Yeah,
Jeez.
He's sitting there. Pop! It's a pop!
So Clash at the Castle, you got Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre. Do you think Drew wins, or do you think Priest keeps it?
I think Priest keeps it. I would love to see Drew get it, though. Honest to God, I would love for Drew to win it, but I don't. I think it'd be too early to take it off of Priest right now.
If Priest wins, though, then you have Gunther versus Priest at SummerSlam. So, like, that's heel versus heel. Does that work?
I mean, Drew is technically a heel right now too, though. So I mean,
you're right.
Either way, I mean, we're kind of looking at a heel versus heel matchup at SummerSlam for the World Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah.
You know,
although
because Drew's warring against Punk and has been since the beginning of time. You know.
Yeah. I will say that my brain just went blank. Sorry.
Is it Gunther?
No. Priest.
Damn. There you go.
They have him doing a lot of face stuff lately.
Maybe they're trying to turn him to get him away from the Judgment Day or something.
Maybe. I can kind of see that. Because he's all like, you know, every time they come out to help him, he's all like, I don't want your help. You know, I need to do this myself. It seems like they're...
Definitely, man.
I also don't like Carlito being mixed in with the Judgment Day. That seems really off to me.
I thought it was odd when they turned him heel. You know, I think he does a great job as a heel. Don't get me wrong. That's what he was 90% of his time in WWE. But I thought he was doing great as a babyface. I think he got amazing pops and people loved him and stuff, but they decided to make it happen, and that's the way it is. You know, the LWO thing didn't work out, I guess. He attacked Dragon Lee, and you could see that one coming from a mile away because he was disappointed after he didn't get picked, you know. But even after that, you know, he was a bad guy. You could have done something different to keep him a good guy. Make it be someone else, or make Dragon Lee just get jumped by Santos Escobar. Even it's whatever it might be. You know, I don't know.
It definitely feels weird and forced. So I don't know.
Yeah, I feel the same. I feel like they're trying to just. Oh no, Carly! Like Triple H is like going, no. We have somewhere for you. Don't worry about it, Carlito. We got something. We're gonna. You're gonna go over there and talk to Judgment Day. Here you go. Yeah.
Like what?
Why would you make me do that? I don't even want to do that. You know, I was doing the LWO thing just fine. Oh my god.
That is not cool.
That's not cool.
That's not cool.
That's not cool. Yeah.
So what do you think about Dom? Oh my god, dude. What do you think about Dom and Liv?
That was actually where I was going to ask next, man. I was going to go there and ask you the same thing. I'm not even lying.
I think Dom and Liv have something going on. Absolutely, 100%. And when Mommy comes back and that is revealed, it instantly it keeps Dom heel, and it will instantly turn Mommy face.
They're wanting to portray her as heel, Rhea, but there ain't no way she's a heel even right now. I mean, even right now, as she comes out every week in the crowd, whenever she's here, you know. Yeah, everyone loves her. So I mean, ain't no way if Liv and Dom are a thing right now. I mean, if they are, the fact is,
they're going to drag it out until Rhea comes back. And then Rhea will have a rematch, or not a rematch, but she'll have a title match, and then Dom turns on her and helps Liv win, and then that's what's going to happen. Like they're setting it up. I can see it coming a mile away.
I can see. He said, "I've watched wrestling a little bit. I picked up on some things, and this is probably what's going to happen."
Absolutely. I'm like 95% sure.
God dang, dude. Who's challenging Cody next? That's the real question. We know at SummerSlam he doesn't have an opponent yet. We know at Clash at the Castle. Haven't seen anything about Cody Rhodes yet. So, and I missed SmackDown tonight a little bit earlier. So I got to rewatch it. I have it DVR'd, so I'll be able to watch it later. But
I didn't watch it tonight. I have to watch it on Hulu the next day, so I'll watch it tomorrow sometime. But if I had to guess, man.
I mean, who's in a spot to face him, man?
SmackDown's kind of short on heels right now. Probably Solo. SummerSlam.
Solo could work. Could work. Yeah. Solo. Carmelo Hayes. I know he lost to Cody, but you could set him up in a feud, and he'd still be money. Melo is money, but
I think it's too
what if somebody? What if Braun Breaker came over from Raw and just attacked Cody? That would be cool. No, not feeling that one either, huh?
No.
Oh man.
What's AJ doing? I
don't know. He was in a.
That's not quite over yet.
He was in a suit when I was watching the beginning of it earlier, wanting to make a big announcement, and he looked upset and sad, and he said he only wants to have to say it once, and that's in front of the people. So I don't know what he's doing. I don't know if he's chosen to walk away from wrestling because he's been talking about it or what, but we'll find out if it's a work or a shoot, So we'll see what happens.
What about Orton?
But that's a good choice, honestly. That is a good choice. I think that would be the best choice for SummerSlam for Cody, Yeah, Legacy.
Legacy face-off?
Oh, definitely, man. Do you think Roman returns at SummerSlam?
No. I think it's too soon.
Too soon.
Not yet. Yeah.
April to August. That's too soon. We got to wait until the Royal Rumble next year, and Roman's going to enter at number 30.
Isn't there a big one after SummerSlam before the Royal Rumble? Another big one?
Survivor Series.
Survivor Series. He might come back in Survivor Series.
I want to see him come back at Survivor Series. I want to see a 6-man War Games match, and it needs to be the Bloodline's implosion. We need to see the new Bloodline, Solo, Tama Tonga, Tongaloa against Jimmy J and Roman. We need to see it.
Isn't there another Bloodline member coming?
I think they were trying to bring in Jacob Fatu. And
so check this out. If they bring him in, so maybe Roman can come back at SummerSlam, and then for Survivor Series they set up Solo's Bloodline with those 4 against Roman's Bloodline with both Usos, and then they recruit Sammy back as well. Would that not be awesome?
That would be really cool if they recruit, because they would definitely be the baby faces. The Usos and Roman, they'd be the baby faces. And getting Sammy to come and join up with them would be great. Imagine if they got The Rock to join up with them. Roman, The Rock, and the Usos versus the other Bloodline members. Oh man, that would be something. But I don't see The Rock being a good guy. The Rock wouldn't be a good guy.
No,
so I mean,
I don't think so.
Yeah, he's coming back to fight Cody. Whenever I come back, I'm coming for you, boy.
Coming for you.
And then Cody was like, I don't understand what The Rock is saying. It doesn't make any sense. Or whatever the hell he says. He has a lisp, a really prominent lisp, so you got to put that in there. But anyways, looks like...
What do you think of the Howdy 6?
Oh, man. Oh, I've been trying to keep up with it. I was watching one earlier. There was a new QR code on the episode tonight. So if you're looking for it, Tomorrow it is as Nick Aldis is walking through the back hallways. It pops up and says "Hello," like right there, and then the QR code comes up in one of the lower corners over here. So, but yeah, it's really cool. I've been trying to keep up with it as much as possible. I thought Braun Strowman and Alexa Bliss would be part of it, but apparently they're not going to be. From what reports say, it's like Dexter Lumis, Nikki Cross, obviously Bo Dallas or Uncle Howdy, whatever.
I can kind of understand Braun not being part of it, but I do not understand the decision of not having Alexa Bliss in it. Like,
I don't know,
Alexa,
man. Alexa
absolutely needs to be in it. Like, that just, I don't understand that at all.
I have no idea, if I'm being honest, man. And it may just be she ain't ready to come back to wrestling yet. So she may be when she comes back, if she comes back, if she comes back, because she has a baby now. She's married. Who knows? Yeah.
I just wish that they'd hurry up and do something with it. I'm sick of, I mean, it's been like, 2 months of QR codes? I'm kind of sick of it.
I'm getting a little annoyed of it too, man. I want to see Uncle Howdy. I want to see the new version of Dexter Lumis, Nikki Cross, Joe Gacy. I want to see Eric Rowan on WWE TV again, man. I want to see all of these people.
It reminds me of like 2 years ago when they kept doing those vignettes of that Indian guy. I can't remember his name, but like he's coming in, like every week.
Oh, Veer Mahan.
Yeah, like every week, and then he never came.
He was just never there. What happened? Why are you promoting this guy to never put him on TV? Veer Mahan is coming. I can hear Michael Cole saying it.
Yeah,
that's right. Next week, Inda Shure's Veer Mahan is coming. Is he? Then the next week, the same thing. It's like, God dang.
All these VR codes kind of remind me of that. It's like, when are they going to be here? Jeez, come on.
I agree, man. I think one awesome addition to the commentary team has been Pat McAfee to the Raw commentary team.
I agree.
Dude,
Pat has been great.
Pat McAfee. It reminds me so much of Jerry Lawler and JR in the older days, even in the early 2000s when I was watching it mainly. I watched it mid-90s, and then I fell out, and then the mid-2000s I started watching again. So you'd watch Raw, and you'd hear Jerry Lawler and Jim Ross, man. And Jerry was like, woo! And Jim Ross was like, calm down, blah, blah, blah. And now you got Michael Cole. Now you got Michael Cole being like, Pat, you need to calm down. And he's like, Yee! Come on, Michael! I'm eating on the desk. Yeah.
That's great.
He cracks me and my fiance up all the time when we're watching Raw. We'll be watching. He'll just be standing up. He's like, I'm doing it. We're like, what the hell is he doing? He's so dumb. He's like a big kid. It's always great to watch Pat McAfee. Dude. He's awesome addition, man. And I do think it was a good call. I do think it was a good call on SmackDown to have Corey Graves be the lead commentator, man. Yeah. Corey Graves has done really good. Go ahead with what you were saying. I'm so sorry.
You ever see those like videos of Michael Cole just like trying not to crack up whenever Pat says something?
Yeah.
It's so something stupid. Cole just trying not to like it's so funny.
I love watching the R-Truth ones whenever he gets people to break, man. He is the king of breaking people, man. I thought Triple H was going to break when he was giving them their new tag team titles. I thought Triple H was going to just crack, man. And it didn't happen. He was just cool and composed. He's like, can I get out of here now? It's like, yeah. Miz like, thank you. But R-Truth was calling him Tommaso Ciampa the whole time. It's like, what the heck are you doing, man?
I love R-Truth. He's so funny.
He's one of the best, man, and he's like 52 right now, dude. That's crazy, nuts. Man. He's in there 52 years old, still doing splits, still doing hip tosses and all kinds of stuff, dude. Taking bumps on the outside of the ring and everything. My God, dude, the dude is he's just one of a kind, and he's definitely, in my opinion, Hall of Fame bound whenever he decides to retire.
I'm super glad that they gave Awesome Truth the tag team run.
Yeah, man, me too, man. Austin Theory and freaking Grayson Waller have the titles on SmackDown, man.
Yeah.
Grayson Bloody Waller. Oh yeah, they're
amazing.
Wonderful, man.
Love them.
They're really good. They I love how much they make me want to punch their face. You know, that's the best part about them.
It's great.
You know, Austin Theory. Grayson Waller is the smarter of the two. I'm going to give him that. Austin Theory's been on the main roster longer, but Grayson Waller has just got quick wit about him. Like whenever whoever, I can't remember, someone was backstage and it was I think Randy Orton or something, and he was back there. He's like, you know, it was whenever he got knocked out at Elimination Chamber by Logan Paul, and they were backstage and they were making fun of him, watching the video, replaying it over and over. Austin Theory and Grayson Waller, and Orton came up behind him and blah blah blah. He started talking to him. There, whoa, hey, and then he's like, I didn't say anything. It was him. And Grayson Waller immediately put the blame on Theory, and Orton took on Theory later on that night. Theory's like, what the heck, man? He's like, what did I do? You know, it's like, dude, you're so dumb. It was great, man. It's always great watching those guys, watching R-Truth and The Miz try to explain everything to R-Truth and him just not getting it. That's wonderful, man. So it's like good. In one ear, out the other. You know, that is Triple H, Truth. Where Triple H at? You know, it's like, I don't see him. Yeah, exactly. He just doesn't get it. And then there's
DIY DX. It's DX.
Yeah.
It's Triple H and Shawn Michaels.
There was years ago whenever he was the 24/7 champion, and he was out there and he walked out to the ring and goes, I'm declaring myself for the Royal Rumble. And I'm going to throw everybody over the top. And that means everyone. If you get in my way, I'm going to take you down. Paul Heyman, because Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar were standing in the ring at that time. Yeah. And Brock Lesnar just lost it, completely lost it, was busting up laughing in the ring. He's like, what? And then Paul goes, I'm not in the Royal Rumble. If you enter the Royal Rumble, you will be facing Brock Lesnar. And then he's like, oh, my bad. I'm officially undeclaring for the Royal Rumble. And he walked out, and Brock Lesnar started dying laughing whenever he said that too. He's just really funny, man. He's hilarious. Oh my gosh, man. I think overall the state of WWE is just great, man. It's like the second boom of the Attitude Era.
I kind of feel the same way. Yeah,
I don't think it's really the Attitude Era.
It's definitely better than it has been for a long time right now.
Definitely. I don't think it's actually the Attitude Era like the Attitude Era was. I think it's a big boom like the Attitude Era. And they're putting edgier content on, you know. It's not as tamed as it has been before, you know, and that's the great thing about it. You know, we were always wanting, in my opinion, whenever we had all the PG content, we were wanting more. We wanted something else. And then we get AEW to roll in, and AEW gives you way more, and you're like, hang on, I didn't ask for all of it. You know, I just want some of it.
It's too much.
Dial it back a little bit, you know. I don't need all the cuss words and blood and death matches. I just want some blood, a little bit more cussing, and great action, you know, more action. And that's what WWE's doing right now, and they're doing it in spades, and they're doing it great, you know. I can't see the downside to what they're doing now. And then on NXT, like Tuesday on NXT, Jordan Grace showed up there, and Ethan Page is now in NXT. So it's like, you know, WWE doing the talent sharing thing with TNA is a whole big step that I never saw coming, and I don't think would have happened if Triple H wasn't in charge. If Vince McMahon was still in charge, if Redacted was still in charge, you know, that wouldn't have happened. because it's an in-house product only. We're not dealing with anything outside of this house. But now they've dropped New Japan. They've dropped the name New Japan. Talked about it before. They've brought in TNA wrestlers and stuff. Current TNA Knockouts champion Jordan Grace was on NXT Tuesday, and she's going to be challenging Roxanne Perez for the NXT Women's Championship at their Battleground event in Las Vegas. So, what's going to happen there? I mean, it's just going like this right now, which is what you want,
Yeah.
And
then when Raw gets on Netflix, that's a whole nother level, dude.
Oh my gosh, I'm excited, and I'm excited and really hopeful and optimistic about that next Netflix thing, man. Because, dude, Netflix is so accessible and everybody has it. So if you're wanting to watch wrestling, you can now just turn on Netflix and watch Raw. Next year,
incredible.
But
Incredible.
It'll be awesome, man. But yeah, man, I think that right now wrestling as a whole is great, and I can't wait to see a forest through the trees, man. That's gonna be awesome, man. It's awesome, dude. I'm really excited for you. I'm really excited for you. I'm excited for the potential that you've got coming in this film. And as you know, we end the show the same way we do every time. So right now, I'm going to go ahead and do my 3, and I'll let you do your 3 afterwards, man. So it doesn't change. It doesn't change. And it's not a bad thing when it doesn't change. My first thing is always my support system, because, dude, I couldn't do any of this stuff without having my beautiful fiance, my 2 daughters, 13 and 8. They're growing up faster than I could even freaking imagine. It's mind-blowing. My oldest daughter's 13, and it blows my mind every day. But if it wasn't for their support in everything I do, filmmaking, wrestling, podcasting, anything, I don't know that I could do it. I don't know that I'd be able to continue to do it. So their support's a huge thing. The second thing, you guys, because, dude, I think I've told you this before at least once, but you don't have to be on this show. You don't have to come on here. I'm just a dude that likes talking to people, and I feel very, very blessed that each and every one of you guys would choose to come on here out of your own accord. It means a lot to me, because you don't have to. There's no reason for it. I'm going to give you a promotion that I can give you, but apart from that, we're just 2 dudes talking, so I appreciate it. And the third thing is my health and the good Lord above, man, because those things, if you don't have them, you don't have anything. So, Jason, man, 3 things that you are grateful for in this very moment.
Very similar to you, man. My family. My wife puts up with a lot of crazy stuff. When I come home, I'm just like, honey, I'm going to take out this massive loan and make a movie with no guarantee it's going to make the money back. And she's all like, sure, no problem. Go for it. That's incredible. And my kids, they're both pretty amazing. Very proud of how they've grown up and to be pretty awesome people. Both creative in their own right. Very, very cool to see. I'm thankful for my film family, the support just from everybody around this movie and beyond has been incredible, and I definitely could not do any of this without them. People like you, Adam, who invite me and the other actors and people onto their shows. Part of this game is marketing and getting the word out, and that wouldn't be possible without people like you guys. So those are my 3 things.
Man, 3 things that, for the last one especially, I'm very appreciative of as well, man. Very similar thoughts and similar feelings on things. So very, very appreciative for you coming on here, dude. We'll have to get you back on again at some point. Talk a little bit more. It's been awesome talking to you as it always is, man. Is there anything you'd like to promote or, yeah, man, is there anything you'd like to promote or talk about coming up? Maybe your socials or anything?
I mean, you can find me on Facebook and Instagram. You can just search Jason Pitts. I do have a YouTube channel. Again, you just search Jason Pitts. You can find Alone, Masquerade, Voorhees Night of the Beast, Voorhees After the Beast, and When the Stairs Creak, all on my YouTube channel. But that's pretty much it. It's all about the Forest Through the Trees. Follow the Forest Through the Trees on Facebook. Visit the IMDb page. And that's it.
Right on, man. Well, shoot, I appreciate you coming on here, buddy.
Thank you so much.
Oh my gosh, that was so fun. I had a great time with Jason on this show, as I always do. I mean, why wouldn't I have had a fun time? We talked about classic championship wrestling. We talked about traditional championship wrestling. We talked about CWA, WWE. We talked about all kinds of stuff, but most importantly, we talked about a forest through the trees, and I'm super stoked. I know for a fact, and I said it on the Ask Adam episode yesterday, I know for a fact that that movie is going to get distributed to Netflix. It's going to get distributed to Prime. I mean, sky's the limit for this film, because anything I've seen of Jason's and everything I've seen of Jason's, the guy has worked his ass off and he's done a great job. So kudos to you, Jason, man. I can't wait to see it. I can't wait. And hit me up about that date, and I will try to see, I will work my ass off to get that day off so we can come up there and watch this film in theaters with you and have a great time. So, guys, it's been a real fun one. Tune in next week when we have more fun right here on the Adam Talks podcast. Never forget to always listen when Adam talks. You guys have a great rest of your day, evening, or night, and we will see you very, very soon on another episode of the Adam Talks podcast.